All right, so I let a day go by since we glued this down. I wanted to make sure that it was secure, and so I think this cover really came out nice. I also went ahead and filled it in with some signatures, but this is a perfect example of how you can take one of these pieces that you've done and attach it to your journals. And I really like how this came out. I reinforced in here, of course this is not a journal making course, but still, I just wanted to let you know that I did reinforce in here with some masking tape. I like to use that if I'm going to use fabric or other thick paper. It lets it be a lot more pliable. Some of the other tapes that you can put on there or fabrics make it pretty stiff, and I like mine to have some movement to it. And I like to leave, if there's any kind of writing or signatures or names, I like to leave that in the book. So I just cut out a little window for Gwendolyn Walker. She was the original owner of this book. But anyway, I think this came out pretty cute. I think this gives you an idea, you know, of what you can do with these little encaustic panels that we've been working on. Now, I went ahead and took the other pieces that we've been working on and also put them on some covers of some journals in the same fashion that I did this one. Let's see if you can see all that work in there. I think it came out pretty cool. Anyway, I went ahead and did the other ones already, and I will show you how those came out. Let me put this down over here, find a spot for it. All right, this is one I had already done before and wanted to show you how you can take this piece and put it on another piece of book cover, and then take that book cover and put it on top of a larger book. And I like how this came out. I thought this had a very Asian feel because I had gone ahead and done some of that script in there. So I put these fabrics on there, and then I had some I think it was newspaper. I can't remember where this came from actually. I'm drawing a blank, but I just made some copies of it and covered up the book and then glued that on there the same way that we glued that other one. And I haven't decorated this yet, but I have put the signatures in, and so I think it will be a pretty cool journal when I'm done. I have another one here. Remember that one that we did where it was all crunched up? I toyed around. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, but I knew I wanted it to be kind of girly, so I just put it on top of a piece of doily and glued it on there. Same way we did it on the other book. Just glued it all down, and that's how that one came out. I think that one came out pretty cute. I like it. I haven't finished up the inside of this one either, but it will be soon. Alright, so that's that one. And then also, remember that those little beads that we made? And this is what I did with that. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, but I knew I wanted to put it on the front of a book, because that's what I think this whole workshop is about, of how to adapt it to the fronts of your journals that you make. So I just basically went through all my scraps that I have in different kinds of pieces, and I thought, I wasn't sure what direction to go in. I looked at the flowers and I thought, well, do I want it to be floral, or what do I want to do? And then I just started rummaging through things, and this just came together. Not sure how or why, but it did. I really don't know how my mind works. But back here I put a piece of, well, all of these right here are on that tape that I use to make my fabric tape, and so that's how I put those down. And then these are just glued down, and I had these appliques that I've had for quite a while, and thought, well, this is the time to use it. And then I had this really big giant thing here I made a while back. I had it in my stash, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. I'm just going to put it on here with a little pin, and all of these journals eventually are going to be in my shop, so I figure if they don't like it, they can just take that pin out and use it somewhere else. And then, starting, I like to put a little pack of goodies in all my journals, because mine are basically what I would call naked journals. I don't decorate a lot inside of them. I like to put most of my work on the covers, because I think that's what you're buying. You're buying the journal, and then you make the inside of your journal your own with all of your stuff. So that's how I did that one. I think it came out kind of cool. Oh, and I did wrap the book in fabric instead of paper this time. And then this one, I had showed you that sample before, that it was on this other book cover, so I decided to put it on top of a different book. And this is just what is this? Scrapbook paper that I glued down, and just like we glued the other one, glued this down onto this cover, and I think it came out pretty cool. I like it. And again, it's ready for a little bit more embellishment, but I kind of carried the theme of birds and stuff. And this is some old wallpaper that I have, so I like how that came out. And then the other sample that I had showed you, that was the inspiration for doing this right here. I put him on some corrugated cardboard, and again some more of I think this was a table runner or something, can't remember, that I cut apart and glued all that together. And this cover is made from the box that the supplies come in. If you bought the kit, I cut this out of that box to make this. So you can use everything that you have on hand. There's not very much that really needs to be bought when you make these kinds of journals, because at least myself, I like to recycle everything I have, so that works out really well, especially the boxes that I have. I get things sent to me, or I buy things, and I save those boxes. I break them down, and then I use a lot of those for my covers. So that might be something to think about if you hadn't. Boxes you get, break them down, so that they don't take up a lot of space, and then you can really make some cool journals. This one also is made out of just cardboard like this, both of these, and then the other ones that I showed you, those were made from existing books that I gutted. This was a book, and this was a book that I gutted, and this was a book also. And of course you saw this book before it was, you know, it's not covered, so that's obvious that that is a recycled book too. All right, so now you can see what you can do with these, and I really think you'll have a lot of fun decorating your journals because they're going to be unique. Nobody is going to have one like yours, obviously, and that added texture is going to make it extremely, extremely unique. There's a few other little techniques I would like to share with you, and so that's going to be in the next video, but I wanted to show you how what we've already worked on can be translated onto your existing journals that you're making. So let's go and I'll show you a few little bonus tips before we conclude this workshop.